Hi everybody, welcome back to In Search of the Lost Diecast. Bit of a bonus video this one, and it's a bonus video for a reason. As you saw from the last video where I was making some boxes, one of the DMC members, a regular on this channel, Ian Hulley, purchased some Matchbox cars, I believe from a car boot sale. And they were in very good condition, and he wanted some boxes to protect them, so I said I would do some. We kind of agreed a trade. He suggested a few cars that he would offer as a swap, and I naturally assumed I would get one of them. Well, in his unerring generosity, Ian didn't send me a car. He offered me a few, and I kind of picked the one that I wanted most. But when the box arrived, it had, well, you're going to see what it had. Anyway, so the first one is this. It's the Joe 90 car. Now, this was the one that we kind of spoke about, and it was on offer, so I thought, oh, that'd be fine. There was another one that's coming up next, which I actually preferred, so I said, well, I'll have that other one. But obviously, Ian, in his generosity, has sent that and just so much more. So obviously, this is the Joe 90 car. We've got the working wings. Beautiful model. I did put a battery in. I can't seem to get the light working. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but I will investigate that further. But as I say, this video is not about whether something works or it doesn't. It's the fact that I spent a few hours doing some boxes. Ian decided, in his extremely good nature, to send me these things, and I'm very, very, very grateful. This is something I did have when I was a kid. Joe 90 wasn't actually one of my favourites of the Jerry Anderson ones. It was always Thunderbirds and Captain Scarlet for me, in the puppet type arena. And then I'm obviously moving on to UFO and Space 1999. But it's a fantastic condition model, and so I'm hugely grateful. There we go. So that's our first one, Joe's car. Let's put that over there by the despicable me. Now, this next one is the one that I actually said, well, I'll have that one, because I thought that was a pretty fair trade. And this is a Vauxhall 101. Now, you may say, why would you want a Vauxhall 101 over a Jerry Anderson vehicle? Well, in our many conversations that transpired between me and Ian, I was telling him about the fact that my dad, when I was a kid, was very much a Vauxhall man until mid-70s, when he became a Ford man for a while because of a couple of models, which we'll come on to later. But this is one of the ones that he had. He had an old... My granddad had a Vauxhall Cresta. My dad had a Victor. The next Victor, because there were two types of Victor. And then this 101. And this is one that Ian's restored himself, and I've got to say, he's done an absolutely bang-up job with it. I mean, it's just stunning. The detailing. Let's get this, and let's show you all the bits that he's done. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Now this one obviously has a opening boot and an opening bonnet. Obviously the doors don't, but the engine is all detailed. I'm going to just get it in the right light for you. There you go. The engine's all been detailed, and just simply a fabulous model. And that is going to go in pride a place in my collection. So that's the Victor. No, it's not the Victor, it's the 101. Sorry. Right, so that's there. So that I thought was going to be that. That was what I expected. So then there was a little bonus of a Busby badge. Now, for those not old enough to remember, Busby was the poster child. No, not quite. He was like the Tetley monkey. Hello, monkey. This was, I think it was Telecom's thing to encourage people to ring people. And in this day and age, obviously with mobile phones, it's a lot easier to do. And yes, if you've got a friend that you haven't spoken to for a while, pick up the phone. Make Busby happy. Go on, give him a call. So that's our Busby badge. I'll give that to Garfield for the minute. There we go. And then the next one he gave me was this one. Jaguar XK120. Again, beautiful model. Now this one is a Corgi, but it's a Corgi, I believe, Century of Cars model. Now I had to look for a box for this and couldn't actually find one, so I made one up. I've also made one for that. Sadly, this is a bit beyond me at the moment because that's slightly bigger than what I'm capable of printing on a single sheet with my printer. Now, I'm sure if I keep at it, I will work out a way of joining two sheets to make a slightly bigger box. But at the moment, I can't do it. But so that one will be kept safe, not in a box. And these ones will be kept safe in a box. So there's our Jaguar XK120. I've actually got another version of this with an opening boot and an opening bonnet. It's got a pannier on the back, and it's also got a strap that comes across the bonnet, and it's got a racing number on the side. I think it's 141. Sorry, at this age, again, numbers bleed into one another. It could be 141, it could be 14, it could be 101, but I think it's one. There will be something up here with it. Not that that's this model, but this is, as I say, this is the later Corgi, Century of Cars. So that one goes over there. We got this one. Again, another beautifully restored vehicle by Ian, a Triumph TR7, and I think it's a Whiz Wheels. No, it's a Dinky, beg your pardon, it's a Dinky TR7 made in England. There we go, if I can get it in the right light for you, there we go. And this one has opening doors. There we go. Unfortunately, not the best light to be able to see into the interior, but it's a bit later tonight. I just wanted to get, because I obviously went midweek with the boxing, how to make a box video, I wanted to get something out for the weekend. And as I say, I really wanted to show my appreciation to Ian, because I think I'm still only on 80 odd subscribers, and to have the level of support that I'm getting from Ian and John Hatwell and Andy Bourne and Martin Dare and Colin Turner, it means so much. I mean, I'm definitely the new kid on the block, but I definitely feel part of the team now, which is lovely. And yeah, just a stunning restoration by Mr. Ian Hulley again. Triumph TR7, so that one can go, I think we'll park that near Joe's car, that one. Actually, let's just move that just slightly that way, just so we can, I think what we'll do, we'll move Busby over there as well, there we go. So, and then on the larger scale models, like I say, this was a lot more than I expected. I put a message out on the tavern about some bits that I was missing because I wanted to do a restoration on a particular vehicle. And bless his heart, Ian's sent me the whole vehicle. So I still need the missing part to actually do my restoration, but he sent me this, which is the DAFF City car. Now this model fascinates me. I know it's probably not everybody's cup of tea. It's not an American supercar. It's not a fantastic racing car. It's probably not even a car that most people had, but I like it because it's just, there's so much of it. And when I say so much of it, I mean, this is a car that is no bigger, no longer. I can grab one over here. Look, it's smaller than a little Corgi Junior. It's actually shorter. But they packed in the gameplay into this one. So you've got, on this side, you've got a sliding door. You've got moving seats. You've got a tailgate that opens. You've got two doors this side, one being a suicide door that opens. Obviously that seat moves as well. I'll show you. So suicide doors and a bonnet. Again, which on this one you can actually see slightly better. Ian's detailed that as well. So you've got this tiny little model that's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with the seats, 7 moving parts, a different colour roof. It must have been a nightmare. I mean, I showed this in one of my previous unboxings, the one that I've got, missing the sliding door. But to have one complete is absolutely fantastic. And it's a lovely little model. And before I move on to the next bits, what I wanted to say was, so I've been making these normal boxes. So that's the box for the TR7. Let's put him back in there for the moment. So there's the box for the TR7. As I say, I can't do the Joe 90 at the moment. Here's the box for the 101. Oh, it does say Victor 101. Okay. I thought I was wrong, but I was actually right. There we go. So there's our Victor going back in the box. And the fantastic thing is, that's another one off the list, the infamous list. So let's put that one there. Oh, that's going to block out Joe Knight. Let's put him there. There we go. The DAFF. Now the DAFF, because it was a Corgi this is a Corgi Whiz Wheels. I should have said that when I showed it. Let's see if we can get it in the right light. There you go. DAFF City car. There we go. This one, with all singing, all dancing doors, boots, bonnets. I'm surprised the windscreen wipers don't move, but there we go. Of course, the box is not like this. It's not an easy box. So the box on the new one, on this one, is I want to say cellophane. It's not cellophane. It's like acetate fronted, so you can see the vehicle inside. So I actually managed to make one, and there is the box. Bit of a kink there where I've bashed it. Captain Clumsy. There we go. There you go. That's the better view of it. But of course, when they went in there, they never went into a plain white box. So the next thing I had to do was make an insert. And there is the multi-sided box insert. So that one goes in there. We open this one up again. Try and do it without kinking it anymore. And then that just nicely slides straight in there. Now, there was a mention on somewhere about, oh, you shouldn't be making copy boxes. You can only use originals. Well, I can't afford an original. I'm not going to sell this. I'm not going to sell any of these. These are for my own collection. But if it's in a box, the chances are Captain Clumsy that I am, I'm less likely to damage the vehicle if it's in a box. So it's a form of protection, really. So that's why I've done it. And then, so that one can go there. And then, finally, I actually had to Heath Robinson this up. So what I did was I found the Century of Cars logo. I went with an old Corgi base box. I found a picture of the vehicle and the model number. And I made that. Is it perfect? No. Of course it isn't. But, again, it's going to protect the car from any of my fat finger fumbling. So, we can go in there. Now, as I explained at the start, this is not a normal unboxing. This is predominantly a thank you to Ian for his support. And if anyone from the DMC is watching and is thinking about trying to do a trade with someone, I couldn't recommend anyone more highly than Ian Hulley. Absolute gentleman. Fascinating, interesting. His knowledge of these models is just staggering. I've learned more speaking to him than I actually thought I knew myself. So it's been fantastic. So that's that. Then in the tavern, so if for those of you that aren't aware, the Diecast Modelers community, and the logo will be here somewhere, is a Facebook group and a YouTube channel that like-minded people get together and show off their restorations, get advice. It's predominantly why I joined. I saw it on Mind's channel. He mentioned the DMC, and I thought that's somewhere I need to be, because obviously my knowledge is, I grew up with toy cars, so I know a fair bit about them, but I didn't know how to take them apart. I didn't know how to repair things. And watching all these videos, there's a very short video on my playlist, which lists off the channels that got me interested in doing this. It's my kind of thank you to all those people that have spent hours and hours and hours doing videos and showing. I bet if you spoke to, and I'm hoping one of the things I'm hoping to do is interview some of the top restorers. In the previous life, I used to write books, and one of the things that I used to love was going and interviewing people. So my first one, hopefully within the next couple of weeks, is going to be Martin at Martin Dare's Dinky Restorations. And it fascinates me because obviously when they do the videos, I know they jiggle them about a bit, but generally speaking, there's a caustic soda snippet, there's a paint stripper snippet, depending on what people use, and it must get quite frustrating having to repeat the process over and over again. I'm not sure whether it's something I'm going to do when I do restorations. Because for the simple reason, it's already out there. I can't tell you anything different from these guys that have been doing it years. So me coming along as a new boy and saying, oh, try this and try this. There's a couple of things that I've observed that I think might be worth mentioning, and I'm going to highlight those in my videos. And if some of it is useful, then fantastic. But yeah, so that's a future project. I'm hoping to do a series of interviews with some of the restorers, find out why they got involved, what they get from it, how they grow their channels, what people can expect when they sign up for their channels and that kind of thing. Anyway, I'm waffling, aren't I? Right, so almost finally, in the tavern, which is where we were, so DMC, I mentioned a couple of weeks ago that the new Matchbox series, or more recent Matchbox series, there were a few cars I was after. So I wanted a Volkswagen Golf, because I had one of those. I actually drove one of those GTI. A MGB GT, there's a yellow one that's been produced. There's a Ford Capri, and there's a Ford Fiesta XR2. Well, Ian blew me out the water. He's got me the Capri, which is fantastic. If I can get it right in the right view for you there. Haven't had the heart to open it just yet, but I will do. There is a way of getting these off without damaging the cards. I've been told that if you reverse it around like this and then use either acetone or isopropyl alcohol and soak that card, what happens is, because it's a coarse card this side, it sucks the alcohol in much the way that you wipe off sticky stuff with alcohol or petrol or whatever, and it loosens up the glue, and you can then just lift that off, get the car out, put the blister back, and you've got your car out there without damaging your packaging. So I should probably have a go at that and see if that works. And finally, on the vehicle front, he sent me this, my old Golf GTI Mark 1, which I had. Mine was red, with the red grille and the red GTI on the front. So sad on this. They've gone to all the trouble of highlighting the badge, the headlights, the indicators on the front, and then they didn't bother at the back. It's the only thing that lets this model down, really. But nonetheless, I'm overjoyed at getting it. So thank you, Ian, for that. The final thing isn't a car. Well, it is, but not a diecast car. So I've explained to you that my dad was a Vauxhall man when I was a child, and then moved to Fords. The very first Ford he got was a Ford Corsair. It's my, it's my sort of holy grail. I've managed to pick up a fantastic condition Matchbox one, and it had the roof rack and it had the boat. It didn't have a box, but I have subsequently made a box for it. So I was thrilled to get that. But I understand that there are at least 3 other versions. I think there's a Dinky one. I think there's a Dinky one. Is it Oxford or Carrama? I think it's Carrama, and I think there might be something like a Spot On, or something. There's about 3. If you know if there's more, please tell me. But Ian sent me this. It's a booklet that was given out by Castrol, Castrol Achievements, and it's a lovely, lovely book. I mean, there's some great stuff in it. As you can see from the pages, it's quite old. In fact, it's very old. It's probably as old as me. But that picture of that Corsair on the front is just... Let's get it full screen for you. There you go. Absolutely wonderful. And I know it's probably a sin because it's a lovely book. I intend getting a picture frame and putting that in a picture frame. Because although Dad's didn't have the spotlights on and it wasn't a racing Corsair, we used to go fishing, so we had he did have a roof rack, and lots of fishing tackle ended up on the roof. So although it looks like it's in a Arabic bazaar there with the camels and everything behind, it still reminds me of my dad's car, because Dad's car was a white one. But yeah, fantastic. So thank you, Ian. Very much appreciated. Before I go, I've got one final little thank you. John Hatwell, one of the other members of the DMC, I made a few boxes for him. He didn't ask me to. He probably didn't want them, but I made them anyhow because he'd done some restorations, and I thought it'd be nice for him to have a box to go with his restorations. As you were probably aware from the video before last, I have stripped a BOAC bus. Now, John very kindly had a second set of decals that he sent me. And when he heard that I was having trouble with my local model shop getting the right base coat blue for the model, today in the post, this has arrived. He sent me what was left over from his restoration. So thank you, John. That's so kind and very much appreciated. And there is another little gift in the post to you, a few more boxes for your most recent restorations. So that's it. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a bit of a different one because, as I say, because this isn't a purchase, this is basically a swap. But I am very, very grateful. I'm thrilled to bits with the models. I hope you've enjoyed me showing you these few restorations by Ian. I know he doesn't have his own YouTube channel, but the quality of his work certainly deserves one. So if I can publicise what he's done in any way, shape or form, I'm very happy to do so. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please give us a little like. I would love to get to 100 subscribers within the next month or so. If you can share it with friends, so much the better. If you can share my information on your channel, even better. But more importantly, if I've said something wrong, if I've got any details wrong, leave a comment. It only takes a minute. Just leave a comment, let me know, because I keep going on about this, but because I'm fairly new to this, I don't want to misinform anyone. I really want the information that I'm putting out there to be completely accurate. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you all again soon. Bye now.